Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of George Reviews. Today on George Reviews, I'll be taking a look at Hasbro's G.I. Joe Classified series, Cobra Officer. And I always have a story for you guys. I want to tell you a story about army building. As a kid, I hated getting the generic troopers from Cobra, from Star Wars, the stormtroopers, and like my family members, you know, like if it was your birthday, holiday, they would grab you whatever's on the shelf. They knew you collected a certain thing and they grabbed whatever was there. They didn't care if you got Vader or Zartan and some of the marquee names in the line that you collect. I always wanted the marquee names, and I had so many troopers for whatever toy line it was insane, and I wound up like popping the heads off, melting them down. They were always dying in battle because I never cared to army build. I never had the vision to army build. I never realized how cool it would be to have 10 troopers standing in line when Cobra Commander walked by, or 20 stormtroopers and Vader and the Emperor walking by, until I became an adult. And then when I thought it was my huge brainstorm to like army build and build a battle scene or something like that, it turns out that everybody was way ahead of the game, and some of the obscure background troopers and characters were some of the most highly collectible figures. I was just like, wow, and it just became expensive to army build the generic guys because everyone has that idea. So having said that, fast forward to today, I have a Cobra Officer, and I want to try to army build this guy when I can catch him. But again, it's so many toys out and there's so many characters to get. Like, do you spend your money buying the same generic trooper over and over, or do you move on to the next name brand guy and kind of not have that army build scenario? And also on my channel, when I originally started my channel, I started my channel to do versus battles, like variants versus originals and obscure versions of figures. So this gives me a chance to get caught up on a couple toy reviews. Like, I had this in my possession for like 2 months now. I grabbed the Cobra Officer, I grabbed Spirit, and I grabbed Storm Shadow at my local Walmart. And then I have a Cobra Infantry Trooper from, I don't know which wave, but he's designated, he's numbered at number 24, and the more recent release Cobra Officer is numbered at 37. So I'm going to take a look at these guys together in this same review. The Officer is the meat of the review, and the Infantry guys just kind of thrown in as a bonus. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this video, and I'm going to get them off the turntable and crack them open. Okay, before I get them open, we are looking at the standard G.I. Joe classified packaging. It's just a window box packaging with some less than impressive artwork of the figure within on the front. It says ages 4 and up, Hasbro, Cobra Officer, obviously. And on the back of the box is a collage of all the figures that are available and hopefully figures to come. Standard packaging, standard release stuff. And on the back of the Cobra Infantry Soldier box is a little bit older from the earlier releases because they are like 13 figures apart in the wave. But anyway, I'm going to get them open and check them out. I'm going to start with the Cobra Officer. He is the meat of the review. The reason why I pulled out the other one. And we just slide him out. He's sitting in half a clam. A Cobra logo right there in the back of the box. Nothing else back there. We get this little label. I think it's a warning sheet. Don't choke on the accessories in this packaging. Choking has a small parts, not for children. Let's get this guy out. No tie downs, which is always great for an unboxing video. Looks pretty cool. I don't see any flaws on this guy sitting in the pack. Take a closer look in the set. Here's his helmet. One gigantic holster. Looks like a Cobra emblem. Yep, Cobra emblem right there. And y'all have to forgive me, I don't know my guns. This is not an AK-47, but, and I once thought these were like generic made up guns, but apparently these are real, and people have told me that in some of my reviews. These are real guns. I'm not a gun enthusiast. I'm a gun owner, not a gun enthusiast. 2 small clips for the gun. I'm going to immediately store these after the review because these are begging to get lost right now. Another shoot 'em up bang bang that I don't know what this thing is, and you can see where it takes a clip. He has the Han Solo blaster, Ruger or whatever, and he has a knife with a painted blade. Normally they don't paint the blades on these things, and they just like whatever. And a sight right here for one of the guns. I believe this is a sight, and it's begging to get lost as well. Alright, let's bring them closer, take a look at our trooper. Take a look at his face. And they're very much designed after the vintage look. I mean, they modernized it to take on it, like the little the hood mask piece right here, very modernized. I mean, it's just the old school updated, and a lot of people complain about wanting it to be more old school than updated. But I think that this trooper looks pretty damn good. This officer, I gotta get it straight for the video. This officer looks pretty damn good. He's pretty impressive for a figure of this classification and this price point. So I'm gonna bring him first. I'm gonna talk about his face. It looks like he has brown eyes, and he has like this tan skin. And this is like one of the most clever things ever, because he could be a tan Caucasian, a high yellow black dude, or a Latino under here. He's multiracial under here, and that's really, really clever. I don't know if they intended that, but this figure goes a lot of different racial ways, which is pretty awesome. And being an officer, he has the silver Cobra emblem on his chest. He has some silver around his neck. I think that's pretty much rank. And this silver right here is rank 2. And this outfit is just amazing. The little tactical vest and pouches and everything. It has a good amount of paint on it. Well, not a lot, but I mean, it's painted and not just all black plastic. It has a painted pouch here in gray up here. And just a lot of molding and detail. The belt, and the belt is a separate piece, which is nice. It floats around. Spinning around. The back of it has molded in detail. It's very, very cool. The shirt he's wearing has molded in fabric details in it. This little part under here, black piece under here, has a lot of molded in detail. The shoulder parts, right here on the side of his arm, he's wearing the black gloves, the black molded plastic. Over here, I think this is some type of rank insignia as well. Another Cobra logo. I mean, this is a pretty cool looking figure. Look at the pants, the molded in detail on the pants. This is my first time. Oh, but this may be a reused leg or something like that. But it's really kind of blowing me away. A lot of detail on here. The little knee pads coming down to the boots. The boots have a silver buckle on those. Some molded in detail wrinkles in the boots. Very, very cool looking figure from top to bottom. I got a little bit of paint splotching over here, but I think it's just some blue and the black. It might be black scraped off of the blue. Either way it goes, it's not too bad. I'm not a total fan of it, but it's not that bad. So let's check out this guy's articulation. He can look up this far, down that far. Not a whole lot out of that. No real side to side, just a little bit. Head 360s on the joint, just in there. I can't tell what type of joint it is. Looks like a hinge, just a standard hinge. Wait, then maybe I'm not. A lot of these, okay, he can look down more. When I do my review, I don't want to break my figure in my review, so sometimes I don't go as hard as I can. People tell me, yeah, the head does this. Yeah, we can get it up higher. I decide to be brave so I don't miss it again. And my neck is kind of off to the side, so it swivels at the neck. The only reason I realized that is because my neck is off to the side. I saw the hinge. But it actually has a neck swivel that I probably shouldn't be doing that. Fully 360s. And the head hinge up under here fully 360s. So there's a lot of articulation in there that I would normally have missed because I'm not bold enough to do a lot of the things to my toy. And let's check out his shoulders with the armor on it. His shoulders come up this far. 360s at that shoulder. Bicep swivel. Even with the pad on, and it floats around. It's a separate piece. Elbow joint is double hinged, but it's kind of having trouble over this pad right here. So let's go around to this one and check it out. See how far we get out of this double hinged elbow, which is a lot. Very cool. 360 at the wrist. He has a wrist hinge. Again, I don't know if it's just stiff or just not getting a lot out of it. So I don't like to force mine. So. But he has a wrist hand there, and his hands are both like triggered hands, and these hands are hard. All the Joe hands to me are too hard. It makes it difficult to put the weapons in their hands. Coming down to his, it's got an ab crunch under here. Yep, a torso articulation, which I'm not getting a lot of. Maybe it just goes front and back. It hunches over this far. It had a click in it, and click to the back. He can lean back that far, which is pretty darn good. I mean, this is a really, really good figure. Waist articulation, you can turn about this far. I probably could turn it more, but with all this stuff on, I don't want to do too much more than that. But that's a lot. His legs out to the side this far. And he has the drop down hip. All the Joes have the drop down hips. Let's drop them down so how much front to back we get. to the front this far. To the back, it kind of cocks to the side to the back, but you can get to the back that far, which is a lot. Thigh swivel right there. This part, oh, it is a separate piece. I thought it was molded in, but this is a separate piece for the knife holster. Double jointed knee. A ton of articulation out of that. Boots, he has a boot cut right here. Swivel, no human being leg swivels right here, but a lot of people demand that boot cut, boy. There's no boot cut. Like, whose shin articulates that way? The boot, front, back, man. I mean, this is a glorious figure. I'm saying it already. This is a damn fine figure. Wow. Then he comes with a ton of accessories. Let's move on to his accessories. I really like this figure, so the end commentary is going to be really brief. Okay, we're going to start with the big boy. The I don't know what this is, AK. Somebody please tell me, you know. Again, here's the clip for it. I believe it goes right here. And this is so cool when you put a clip in your toy gun. I'm finna kill every Joe I own. This is nice. Then it has a little bit of brown paint that's supposed to simulate the wood right there, which is cool. It's fair enough. They could have just left it all black. Moving on to this thing. I don't know. This is the smaller handgun. And you know, he got all these weapons. He's not gonna hit not one damn Joe. He's shooting on the ground like the 18. Dun, 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 dun. And I'm put the clip in here. And I don't know whether it goes to the front or to the back. Don't crucify me. Again, not a gun enthusiast. But we got that one armed up, and we have this little German engineered thing or whatever with a silencer on it, looks like. And we got a scope. I think this is a scope. Where does this go? I'm going to stick it on this thing. I know I'm going to get trashed for this. I think it goes right here. Like that. And you think the small end would go to the back. Alright, this is what I got. I'm sticking to it. I don't even want to hear it. But no, feel free to comment. Roast my ass. Comes with a dagger, and again, like I said, it's painted. And this holster. So let's get him armed up. Let's run it through his hand first. The dagger in his hand. He should be able to hold it because these hands are tight as shit. There it is. Or what about the reverse way? Die, Joe. Boom. Alright, let's get it in his holster. This is the dagger holster. At least I know that much. Speaking of holsters, I believe this is the AK's holster, or not AK. It has a little texturing to it where it's supposed to be leather. I believe it pegs into his back right here. And we're going to get that holstered. Bam. Well, maybe that thing doesn't go in there. We're going to take this weapon. You know what? I forgot to try to put these in his hand. There it is. Let's see if we can swim. We can get them in his hand. Figure. Boom, he holsters that. This thing, whatever this is, Tech 9. Doing my best to get his finger in the trigger thing because it looks cooler. Alright, got the clip back in there, and the clip probably goes the other way. Somebody gonna tell me I'm gonna do both so I can be right at some point in this video. And there we go. Holla at your Cobra. Boop, 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 boop. I don't think this one holsters. He has room for 2 more things. I don't know if this little scope thing goes back here or what. All right, yeah, this goes back here. And I think this space is for a clip. Let's remove this clip. Bam. All right, so I got the clip in there. I don't know if it goes in there, but we got everything mostly holstered up. Maybe this thing doesn't take a clip. I mean, it's got to. It has a space in there. So here we have an officer almost ready for battle, except for the little steel pot that goes on his head with the little classic emblem right there, whatever that means. Bam! And now it's Cobra! And man, this thing is pretty darn sweet for a generic, nameless, characterless. Well, I want to say characterless. This guy looks pretty damn cool. Alright, moving on to the Cobra Infantry Trooper. If we needed anyone else out here with terrible aim, or less terrible aim than the Cobra Officer, is the Cobra Infantry. This guy ranks right up there with the A-Team villains from the old 80s TV show. They couldn't hit anything but the dirt in the side of an abandoned car. And Stormtroopers from Star Wars. Nothing else in the box. The same old thing. Same thing. The back of the box was different, but get this guy out. But yeah. Worst aim of any troopers or bad guy faction in the history of fiction is the 18 bad guys. They couldn't hit anything but the ground in a straight even pattern. Stormtroopers from Star Wars and Cobra Troopers didn't hit nothing. Alright, this guy has yet another gun. I don't even, man, that thing is so techy. I don't know what that is. That's some Ray space gun or whatever. We get a helmet for this guy. One small dagger that was like impossible to remove, and it has like a pattern on it. Yeah, it is a snake mouth on the dagger. Wow, it's pretty cool. And two small hand pistols that just pop the hell out, so he can miss more at the same time. And this has to be a fictional gun, or I need to update on my knowledge real quick. All right, let's take a look at our infantry guy. I'm gonna bring him close, take a look at his face. This looks to be the same face. I'm gonna do a side by side in a second, but the cowl or hoodie is molded different. Similar but different things going on here. The little armor plating or shirt has more of this little tactical material on it. The Cobra symbol is now red. These pouches and stuff could have been painted because it's like this just blue plastic thing going on. Still a lot of molded in detail, look good. They put the Cobra emblem in a few places. Looks like he has armored forearms right here on both arms. Same little trigger fingers on both hands. Some more molded in detail in here. A lot of detailing on these guys. Detailing down here on this little tactical thing. This is like a huge little piece of body armor or whatever. Has multiple ports in the back that I guess stick these things on. A holster back here. Here's some gray paint back here. There we go. We got some paint going on. He has Cobra on the back of his hands, which is very cool. Looks to be the same legs as the previous figure, and maybe more figures again. Like I said, I haven't unboxed a lot of mine, so a lot of people might be like, man, that's the same recycle. I'm just checking it out. But he has some paint right here to kind of make it look different. The knee pads look different. Again, I'm going to do a side by side. He has these shin guards on these boots. The boots are different all the way from the calf down. This is a different boot he's wearing. Some molded in detail underneath the boot, some gripping parts. I don't believe the previous figure had a. Matter of fact, let's get him out here. Boom. Nope. Different boots. So yeah, let's check these figures out side by side. I probably should have armed them up, but that looks like the same face. This one is more narrow. This is more narrow, definitely. Trying to see his eye color. They appear to be brown. I don't know, the same angry scowl from the original 80s box art. On both of these guys, this head is much slender. Rounder head, slender head. So they may look different. Then his mask is like the Sub-Zero Scorpion. Sub-Zero Reptile. His looks more like the traditional 80s cartoon and vintage toy. I prefer this one better. This is a little bit too tactical for me. The sides of the helmet, the little parts right here are different. Very similar but different. Then he has a little bit coming up here that this one doesn't have. So these figures are built the same, but have a lot of differences. Look like the arms are the same till you get to the forearms. Of course, they're going to reuse parts. I'm just pointing out what's going on here. And the tactical vest is completely different. I'm not going to go over his articulation. I'm going to assume it's the same because it's built on the same frame. So we got the same articulation right here. So let's get this guy dressed up and see what he can hold. Had no problem doing that. I don't know if he can hold two hands, get it over. So, I mean, you could if you wanted to. Spend forever trying to get in his hands. I'll do a pose down and photo gallery at the end. Had these guys murder, death, killing Joes. So that's coming. So he can hold a gun. I'm assuming he can hold all the guns. So let's get this stored away. Put it in the main slot in the back. What are these two holes for? Alright, boom. When they got trigger fingers, it's always important to get the fingers on the trigger. It's like if this guy can't hit anything aiming down the sights of the main rifle, he's not going to hit anything dual wielding. It's just a double miss. Let's get these things holstered. And it's cool they can holster this stuff. I mean, these guys are armed up to the T. Wow. Damn. And this thing keeps falling off. Let's try a different slot. Let's try that. See if it stays on there. And last but not least, the Cobra knife. Wish they had painted the blade, but it is an easy custom if I so choose, or if you so choose. And this little short knife, man, he got to be close range. Just for slitting throats or something. You're dead, Joe. Let's get this thing holstered. You can get the helmet on. And get some side by side. Ooh, wait, goes this way. Get the helmet on. And then let's check out the helmets. Helmets are very different. A completely different mold. Come around to the front. I guess this is the insignia of the officer. I just do. But the officer is my favorite. Just because, like, so far this is just too much blue. They should have hit it with something. I mean, I probably could, but I hate changing a figure from its natural state, and you know, the way it came. This guy, he doesn't want to stand up as easily as the officer. Okay, here they are side by side. This guy, like, overall body appears to be a little bit smaller for whatever reason. It could be my imagination, but no, look, he is a little bit smaller. Check it out. It could be the way I have him standing or whatever. His feet are further apart. I don't know. But, I mean, like, the basic body is the same, I believe, but I'm really not sure. But definitely the officer is a little bit taller. Alright, time to size these guys up and run them down. We're going to do this Army Builder / Useless Lackey style. Master of the Universe Classics Evil Horde Trooper from Mattel. This is how they scale next to the Star Wars Black Series Gamorrean Guard. Death Star Trooper, along with Star Wars The Black Series Sand Trooper. Transformers Studio Series Sweeps, Siege Reflector, and finally Marvel Legends Multiple Man. Alright, this is part of the review where I wind it down. I just want to tell you, both of these figures are pretty darn good. I think the Cobra Officer is great. I think the look is better with the black on top of the blue. The Cobra Officer just doesn't pop that much with the already blue with a navy blue on top of it. It kind of lets the detailing of his tactical vest blend in a little bit more. The little armor he has on him, it just blends in a little bit more because it's not done in the black. And while I was moving these guys around, I realized the Cobra Officer glove gauntlets, the black gloves on the sleeve, actually move around and are not part of the actual sculpt. They float, and you can twist them and turn them if you wanted to. And also the knee guards on both of the figures are exactly the same. They're just painted different and kind of make them look a little bit different. And other than that, really, really cool figures. I'm looking forward to getting more. If I can afford them, catch them at retail prices. I probably will go for a few more officers as opposed to the Cobra Infantry Trooper. Not saying I wouldn't get him, but I'm going to go for the best figure first, and I think it's the Cobra Officer. But I do recommend this Cobra Officer. They're out in stores now. And I think you got to kind of find or second market the Cobra Trooper, Infantry Trooper. But that's all I got. I want to thank everybody for watching another episode of George Reviews. The reviews where every toy has a story. Cobra!